My name is JamesDailey, and the title of my project was Digital Learning in the 21st Century, Developing Digital Portfolios. When I first started this grant, my objectives actually were a little unclear when I presented in the fall, so I wanted to kind of just go over that. It was to increase student engagement in the writing process, because sometimes, I don't know about you guys, but with my fifth graders, getting them interested in writing is a hard thing to do at times. So the goals that I set for my students were to become more involved in the writing process, to have more classroom engagement during the writing process to where students could actually collaborate with one another and develop their own digital portfolio. To create a digital portfolio using our Google Chromebooks and the Google Classroom as our learning platform, and to become competent writers in the 21st century, and then also to be able to conduct quality research. So my process was to have my students to create quality projects through the integration of other ARI-approved techniques. And when we first mentioned digital portfolios, I thought, how in the world am I going to be able to get my students interested in writing when all we're doing are portfolio pieces, and that's the same tradition. So what I did was, I actually attended another ARI session in Hazard, and I was informed about what was called the Genius Hour projects, and I don't know if any of you have heard of them or not. But the Genius Hour project is where students are able to actually choose a topic that interests them. It doesn't have to be anything related necessarily to school, but it can be any topic of their interest that they want to inform others about. And I thought, well, that's a good way for them to get involved in the writing process. It's something that they would take ownership for, and it would be something that they would be able to teach to others. So I thought, well, why not do my digital portfolio around a Genius Hour project? So I gave my students the ability to choose what they would be interested in, and we had a wide variety of topics. So after they chose their topic and it was pre-approved by me, then our next step was to be able to do research on that topic. So the students actually used various sources in which they researched all of the information that they could about what they were going to present to the others. After they conducted their research and they gathered their information, we used the Google Chromebooks and a Google Doc in order to be able to keep a list of all of their resources and all of their information. So they kept a list of the websites for citing sources, and they kept all of their notes on Google Docs, which automatically saved it online for them so that they didn't have to keep up with papers, they didn't have to keep up with organizing their work. They could go ahead and get that all together there on Google Classroom. Then after they gathered all of their information and they organized it, I had them to again use a different Google Doc in order to create their article, which is one of the genres of writing that we were responsible for in fifth grade. So they developed their article. Again, it was automatically saved. They were able to keep all of their work in one place. But then the students were interested in what they were learning, and they wanted to be able to share it with others in another way besides just writing an article. And so I thought, well, why not take this a step further? And so I actually allowed them to create PowerPoint presentations and to create their projects using Google Slides as one mode of presentation. And in the upcoming weeks, they're actually going to present to their fellow classmates on their digital portfolio. And some of the things that I learned from doing this project was that students can be motivated to write if it's something that interests them. I can still meet the academic writing standards while giving them a little bit of autonomy about what they want to write about. and that they were more successful through a digital means than they were at the beginning of the school year with the traditional pencil and paper methods. And so then I've got just a few little slides here of the work that we were doing, again, using our Google Chromebooks that we purchased with our grant money. And then this is one of the finished products that my students have created and that they are going to present next week with their digital writing portfolio. So that's all I have. Thank you.